All right, so today's video is going to be a little different. Today we're going to be talking about goals. Now, this simple formula that I'm going to share with you guys today is going to be able to accomplish any goal that you may have, no matter what category the goal may fall into, but you will be able to accomplish this with this simple formula that I'm going to share with you guys today. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Salvador Chang and I want to welcome you to the channel. I am documenting a personal journey of me becoming not only a skydiver, but a base jumper, and then eventually a wingsuit pilot.
And stepping out of the plane right there is Salvador Chang. Now you'll see Salvador's got his wingsuit. He launches pretty nicely.
So those are my personal goals as of right now in my life, and these are the life lessons that I've learned, this simple formula that I'm going to share with you guys today. All right, and here are the three simple principles. Principle 1 is going to be identify your goals. Principle number 2 is going to be understand what price you must pay in order to reach those goals. And then number 3, as easy as it sounds, is pay that price. So I know what you might be thinking, that sounds like common sense, but we're going to go in depth just to make it as obvious and as plain and simple as possible. This way you can accomplish your goals moving forward. So rule number 1, once again, is identify your goal. And I'm going to just read this off my phone. The different categories that I have here are going to be, let's say you have economic goals. For instance, you want to get out of debt. Maybe you want to make more money, find a better job. You want to make investments with your money, or maybe you just want to save more money in general and stop spending as much as you do. The next category is going to be things or places you would like to go. For instance, I have here listed Paris, France, the North Pole. Maybe you want to buy a 4-bedroom house with 2-car garage. Maybe you want to own a motorcycle one day. I'm not sure what those goals are, but I'm sure you understand those goals. So I'm just giving you an idea to kind of brainstorm and start you off. Number 3 is going to be your personal development goals. This is the third category. For instance, if you want to get in better shape, you want to learn a new language, maybe read a book a week so you can learn some new information, or maybe you want to work on your social skills, or for instance, you want to eat a better diet. These are all personal development goals that will help you or maybe give you an idea of maybe what you're striving for. So once again, the category overview that I kind of bundled these up into is economic goals. Number 2 is going to be things and places that you want to go. These are the goals that you have. And then last but not least, personal development goals. Now there's going to be 2 types of goals. There's going to be long-term goals and short-term goals. The long-term goals are going to be your dreams, your aspirations. These are going to be the 5, the 10, the 15-year plan that you're setting forth. And then moving forward, the short-term goals are going to be your confidence boosters. These are going to be the easy, quick things that you can kind of check off the baby steps along the way. So as a quick little warning for the long goals, because these are full-on commitments, you want to try it before you buy it. Once again, to be great, it takes full commitment versus just an interest. In order to be amazing at something, in order to accomplish a big goal, you have to fully commit yourself. Once again, that's 5, 10, 15 years down the line. So these are big goals. And once again, before you dive in like that, you definitely want to dip your toe into the water and see how it is. See if it's something you actually enjoy and want to do moving forward for a huge portion of your life. Another key point that I'm going to go ahead and put out here is set goals not for what you will get, but instead for who you will become in order to achieve those goals. And then number 2, what I want to go ahead and say is, in like choosing work or in like choosing your career, don't choose the job that pays the most. Choose the job for what you are learning and the opportunities the job may provide moving forward, potentially in the future. Once again, these 2 points in my opinion are super important, so I'm just going to repeat them again. Set goals for not what you will get, but who you will become. And then set number 2, or goals number 2, is going to be choose the work for not how much you get paid, but for what you are becoming at the job and the potential the job may have in the future. Hope that makes sense. And this is a huge point that I want to go ahead and make regarding setting goals. So I wish I knew this earlier in my life, and this is why I'm sharing this with you. Number 1, when you're setting goals, the goals need to be your own, your personal goals. I understand your mom has goals for you. I understand your dad has goals for you, or your family. Maybe society has an idea of who you should be. You know yourself better than anybody else. These goals need to be your own and that are going to make you happy at the end of the day. Number 2, do not let others put a cap or a limit on your goals. I have here, it says you have to have belief in yourself. For instance, I'm going to give an example. Let's say you went to school and you were in 2nd grade or 3rd grade and the teacher was like, well, everybody in class, write down what you want to be. And you were like, I want to be a race car driver, or I want to be an astronaut, or something just huge, because children, they don't have that limiting belief. They just think big, which is a beautiful thing, and I wish more people thought this way. But anyway, so let's say you wanted to be an astronaut, and you're like, yeah, I want to be an astronaut. And then the teacher was like, come on, Billy, let's be realistic. Less than 1% of the world's population is an astronaut. what kind of negativity are you planting in that child moving forward? That's not a good mindset to have. So I hate when people are like, oh, you should be realistic about your goals. No, I'm sorry. And I might hurt some feelings here, but just because you gave up on your goals doesn't mean that I need to give up on mine. So don't be realistic when you're setting goals. And once again, reminding you, your goals need to be your own. They need to be yours, and don't be realistic. Don't take no for an answer. All right, so now that we've gone over phase 1, identifying your goals, let's go into phase 2. Phase 2 is gonna be understanding what price you must pay in order to achieve those goals. Now, any goal that we choose moving forward in life will require work, but in my opinion, the beauty of life is that we get to pick the work that we choose and we get to pick our sacrifices. So some questions that you might want to ask yourself when understanding what price you might have to pay in order to achieve your goals is, who do you have to meet or talk to in order to achieve these goals? Who has done it before you? Who is an expert in the field? How much money will it take? How much time will it take? And then the answer to these questions will give you a clear blueprint moving forward on how to achieve your goals. Here's a pro tip that I learned along the way. Again, here's some knowledge that I wish I knew. When involving others in your goals, you must be 1,000% confident and committed to yourself and to the goal moving forward. So once again, you need 1,000% commitment and confidence moving forward before you even talk to somebody else about your goals. And just as a quick definition, I want to define confidence for you guys. In my opinion, confidence is saying what you're going to do and then going out and doing it. Confidence is talking the talk and then walking the walk and actually being that guy. There's nothing worse than a man in this world who says he's going to do something and then goes back on his word, because at the end of the day, all we have in this life is our word. And that's why we make people sign contracts nowadays, because people don't. It used to be different. Back in the day, you'd shake a man's hand, you'd look him in the eyes and tell him, hey, this is what's gonna get done, and it's gonna get done by this date, and that would be the end of it. But now we have to have contracts because people go back on their word and people get sued, and people are just a bunch of liars. So a contract is a shaking the hand. That's a long tangent I went on. You get what I'm saying. The point I'm trying to make here is, do not waste other people's time when you're involving them in your goals. If you have a goal and you need someone else's help or you need someone else's advice, make sure that you make that person proud and you do them right and you do the right thing by them and you do not waste their time. Because once again, time is the most important thing that we have in this world. Don't waste people's time. And then again, going back to the point, let's say you reach out to someone who's an expert in your field and you tell them, hey, this is what I want to do, and they don't really agree with it. Once again, don't take no for an answer, because just on the other side of a no is another opportunity or a yes. Rejection is not a thing. A lot of people are scared to, let's say for instance, go talk to that girl. I mean, not trying to be mean, but there's a million girls out there and beauty is a dime a dozen. What's really important at the end of the day is personality and quality, whatever. I'm going on a weird tangent here, but what I'm trying to say is, let's say you go talk to that girl and she says no. Okay, I'm just gonna go talk to the other girl who's attractive, and maybe she'll say yes. If she says no, I'm just keep moving on, because at the end of the day, it's a numbers game, and at the end of the day, somebody's gonna say yes, and I'm gonna get my goal accomplished, whatever that goal may be. In this case, weirdly enough, it's getting a girl on a date. But let's say you want it to become something big in your life, just keep going, keep chipping away at it, and eventually somebody's gonna say yes, and they're gonna help you achieve that goal. And then once again, once they achieve that goal, or help you achieve that goal, do not waste their time. Another pro tip that I learned moving forward when you're accomplishing your goals, or you're paying the price, or understanding what price you must have to pay, pro tip number 2, don't sell out or compromise your value for your goals. Once again, in my book, I like to do things as long as they're legal, moral, and ethical. I feel good about them. At the end of the day, I want to look back, and yes, I have made some mistakes. That's part of life, but I want to be able to look back on my choices moving forward to my goals and be able to say, I am proud of what the work that I'm putting into, I'm proud of the price that I'm paying in order to achieve these goals. And I can sleep at night looking and being proud of myself, looking back on the actions that I've taken in order to achieve those goals. As a quick example, I know that I kind of harped on this, but for example, let's say your goal was to become rich. If you ended up backstabbing and screwing over a lot of people in the process, and then you ended up becoming rich, is it really worth it? Is all that money worth all the relationships that you destroyed along the way? In my opinion, the answer is no. So that's just a quick example of how not to pay the wrong prices for your goals. It's another thing, legal, moral, and ethical. Okay, now that we've gone over phase 1 and phase 2, once again, identifying your goals and then understanding what price you must pay, let's move into step number 3, which is gonna be pay that price, as simple as that is. So for instance, when you're understanding the blueprint of how to pay that price and then you're gonna pay that price, is basically a terms of agreement saying that if I do X, Y, Z, I will attain this goal. So for instance, I'm gonna use weight loss as an example. If I understand the blueprint, all I have to do is put in the work. I have to eat clean, I have to go to the gym, I have to do all the things that normal people do in order to stay in shape if that's my goal. So the blueprint is there, just pay the price. As simple as it sounds, is you have to plan your work and then work your plan. Another note here that I have is children do what feels good in the moment, and adults do what needs to get done regardless of how they feel. And when I first heard that quote, I was like, whoa, it hit me. It hit me, and I was like, damn, I need to grow up and be more mature. But if you understand truly, I know I'm joking around here, but if you understand what that means and the value and the weight of that, it'll change your life. Another thing is you have to be patient. For instance, we'll go back to the weight loss thing. Let's say you want to go ahead and get a six-pack, or you want to get six-pack abs. Don't think that if just because you don't eat a cheeseburger one day, magically you're gonna look down and see abs. You have to do those actions repeatedly, daily, for a long period of time, and then eventually you will achieve your goal. I'm sure you've heard of this before, but it's called the compounding effect. Once again, it's small positive actions over a long period of time equal a huge or exponential great return on your goals. Yeah. And then another thing, paying the price. Man, a lot of people pay the price and then they're like, man, this is hard, or man, this is not what I expected it to be. Listen, once again, we get to pick our sacrifices. It's the beauty of life. You are blessed to be in the opportunity that you have right now. So just keep putting in the work, because if you quit now, all that work was for nothing. And if you're gonna suffer, might as well suffer and get something out of it, or get a reward out of it, instead of just suffering and then quitting and then looking back on it and being like, man, I regret that. I should have stuck with it and I could have had my six-pack abs, or whatever your goal may be. I have here the difference between average and top tier individuals is more effort. Men respect effort. From what I've learned in life, when a man sees another man putting in the work and trying and putting in effort, that's something that's noble. That's something that, as long as it's obviously legal, moral, and ethical, that's something that's respected. Like, man, he's putting the work. I see him. Yeah, he might be failing from time to time, or yes, he's trying and he's struggling, but at least he's putting in the work and he's not sitting on the couch doing nothing. I would respect a man who's putting in the work, trying, failing, and then once again getting back up, let's say the 11th time after he got knocked down the 10th time, than I would, let's say, the person who got knocked down the first time was like, man, this is hard. No, effort is respected as a man, so do not quit. Do not give up on your dreams. Push, persevere, and you can accomplish anything. Just quickly here, there's three types of men. There's men who watch what happened, there's men who make things happen, and then there's men who don't even know what the f is going on. So depending on how you want to go about your life, which man do you want to be moving forward? All right, so let's say you have identified your goals, you understand the price you're willing to pay, and then now you are paying that price. Now, if you hit a goal, I need you to celebrate. That's the reason we live, is to accomplish these goals and then celebrate. Don't just keep knocking out goals, because then eventually it'll get tiring and boresome. You need to celebrate whenever you accomplish one of your goals, even if it's small, even if it's large, celebrate, because these small celebrations will add up to a big, huge, amazing celebration of life at the end of the day. And then on the flip side of that, let's say you do not accomplish one of your goals and you run into failure. A big thing, and something that I've learned in my life, and it's something that I see in others, is do not blame other people for your own failures. I need you as a man to take full responsibility of your life. It's not the government, it's not your boss's fault, it's not your girlfriend's fault, it's your fault. If your life isn't going the way that you want it to go, you need to do something about it. Don't blame others. And then lastly, I want to leave you guys with this: through persistence, anything is possible. And I want to repeat that, because if you try again and again and again and again and again, and you keep moving in that same direction, eventually you're going to end up where you want to be, regardless of the situation, regardless of how much time, regardless of the effort. You will end up there. Just keep going. Once again, daily repetition, no excuses, making small progress. And I use this 1% rule sometimes when I think about life. There's 365 days in a year. If you were to become 1% better than you were yesterday throughout the whole course of the year, that's 365% of a gain. You'd be a whole new man. Nobody would recognize you at the end of the year. I'm just saying, and that's just 1% in one single day. So if you can't put 1% of effort, you really need to change your mindset, because it's so little. It just compounds. Once again, the exponential effect, like little compounding, it's just gonna grow over time like a snowball down a mountain. So I hate to beat a dead horse, but just put in the work, pay the price, get shit done, accomplish your goals. Guys, I love you. I hope you took something away from this video. Once again, the reason I brought this up is because I am on a personal journey myself, and I'm about to enter a new chapter in my life, and I'm about to accomplish a huge goal in my life that I've been working for a while. So I just wanted to share what I've learned along my journey. Once again, I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, peace, love, admiration. Everybody, just make life your bitch. All right, love you guys. Peace.